Just leave her. Ublumi kuyina kaikafi bangma dunaktingu uvanga atiga Margaret Elias. Good afternoon. Welcome to Where We Live Now, and my name is Margaret Elias. On today's show, we have two very special guests. We have returning guests, Lillian Elias and Susan Peffer. ऊᕙᒍৎ. Oh, that's so many words. I understand Nagurunga.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm Susan Peffer from Inuit.
Yes. Okay, just hang on. I'm going to put the mic on you. Let's see. Go like this and like this. Okay. The way I like to start every show is I ask the guests to introduce themselves the exact same way they would as if they're talking to an elder. You ladies would know that it's like you like to know who you are, who your family is, where they're from.
Yeah.
So if Lillian, if you could start, and you guys are sisters, but if you guys can both share just a little bit about yourselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wanga. Ubanga panigavluk Lillian Elias inyuving mi utangok tuanga 13 nikya kukyuni kama maunga nutuanga ilihara kimablungalo akhlawing mi RC school mi wap kunin na укаутсера пекпагивелуккига пеарлуу пекпагига укартуаллагума инипиатун укартуараяқтунга агилаан пангмаппаптаоқ на уқангит пайлунга илаанни кинеққилуатун пигууроқ кинеққилуатунусик утинмуктуатугуреуроқ укаутсера агилаан Inuit наалактуа паяартуат укаухеқуна аторуккупку иллуатун илитсурип каллаалугиматкуа илихималуат укаухеминик ахин иллуатун укаухеқтин атораяраат тааптума аннивиалугариаанга на эсумавлунга илихаурикама наагалуунниин Ai papa kuwa 62 na 60 ni ukiuni ilihauriung naktunga. Ikayuro nga aglan. Ikayo himarunga ang utok kananik. Daktila kemata nagalunin palihe mekemata. Hunun leka ingilangan ikayura kaukat ka. Akilaklunga. Akilakan nimik nalurunga. Tayo mani. Pek pagibay utok kanat ka. Ilitsurip kaman nga ki atatang ma ilokang nin. Mamang maangayok hanging nin, papang maangayok hanging nin. Ilitsorip kaman nga na isuatun Inuit pirakratin. Utok kanat, ikayo akrapetin. Dahil nakalunga, ikayo ko niyakakait ka. Maunganut kakapta. Ilihakayak kimap ka. Mikirwat siya mikin na grade 12, tikinrit kiga grade 12. Aglan, ilihawrak lunga humilika, kanok itna okaw hera anit kup ko kanok anin yakpigo. Tabrahin, isagutak kakatakapta ilihawran niya kamik, cope, bimman huli. Ilihawrin niya kami, ilihakakataktuod. Matkuad, kuyayak para kakait ka. Rosie Albert, Anna Ilasiak. Les Kuptana. Tamat ko ilihawri na ikayok para kangan ni ilihawri niya kami, ilinyakakama. Ukawhera ilihimagalawaklawa. Na ilihawrin niya kami tanik tun tanngit matkuat ang alatsi kaming ilihawrin niya kami ingmigtaw ingmigtiwak tuta uwap kunahin uwam nikahin pilait kit kaukuat ikayok tigibluit tapkuat akanat ala ilihimakparak tuat na ilihawrin niya kami pikapta piraktut kanahotin nutakatin inyukatin dahil naptawak ilihawrin rin ilihawring mi dahil na ilihawrin naktok nutakatin kuat ilihawtikatin dahil nakot ni tatang ma ilokang ni mamang mga yokangit papang maangayok hangik at chat kalo. Ang hangit chung ataw hito aluk tabra angaga Isaac Simon. Anga to aluga.
Real one, huh? Colin, Harry, and they were adopted.
Colin, Harry, mga
oh, real one.
angayok papang ma nukakrang una. Colin, Harry. William Allen. Tap kung ningatiwanak wag. Ang ayokagak mata. Ang ayokagak mata. Agak ting to ko niraman. Tap ko tiwag kangit ang ayoka. Tatang ma. Aglan ay sa ko na ang apiyaka. Ang apiya to aluk po ka. Alam ni ka nga itsuk. Tabar to aluk. Atawid to aluk. Dahil naklunga. Ilihawrin niya kakto ang atabrani. Rosie Albert uma. Nagaktulan niya ko ni. Ilihimaruti ka niya. Pirakaya nga. Nalungit siya din. Ilihimarutin.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yes. You know what you're doing. Nagakto ko nak.
Don't say no.
Nalunin niya. Don't say you don't. Sure. Dahil na niya ko si Albert. Dahil na ko ni. Tayo makaki kami piganga. Tayo makaki kami matkot mumiktit siya nit. Agalang nit. Tamat ko ilokay ni kuwam ng kaitangit. Ilihimavlunigoq pillanivlugu tamatkua nalupqihunginñivlunga taaptumatavriaqquyaaqparaqaiga taitna nalupqihulaiñimmanga taaptuma ikayuuteqpauraqaanga Inuit taitnallaaruni uqqaqaniaqmata kamagilugi nalurutki uqqaqanimiki nakamagilui tapertaitna illuamik taamnapigin taitnaqating tabra Inuit ilitso rikkatka na ilihaureqpakama umani qutsiktuami ilihaurikama ilitsorikkatka tabra taitnaqanoq pimmaqikkaartuni Inuit ilitamnikki aipaani ilitamnik angayaqqaami taataamnin atsaamnin utoqqanaanik taitnaqlunga utoqqanaat isumagi piaqluit piiguorungi piaqluit taitnaqlunga uqauhera nakeqtinniarariga uqauhera una qanuruleqa uqautigit qungillu illuatun uqartuaquvluit qakuguaglanuga uqaarnigniartuanga tabra
Thank you. I'm really thankful. I'm Susan Peffer. I grew up in Inuvagut, and I went to school, but I never really heard my parents talk in Inuvagut. I guess maybe they wanted me to speak English, not Inuvagut, so I really never heard the language very much. But I remember them laughing, always laughing, like every time they sat around the floor or they're eating together, they're just laughing so hard. And I always wanted to know what they were saying. Lillian was talking about her dad's parents and her mom's parents. She really have a love for them, for the elders, and she used to work take them to, because they didn't understand English, she used to take them to the hospital, to the doctor, to the police, and sit with them and just interpret for them. And that's how she first started, just because she loved her elders and she loved her people. And that desire for the love of the language really always was there for her. And so I grew to love my language. I understood every word she said. I'm so thankful for that. I understood every word she said, and it resonates in my spirit, in my heart, because that's who we are. I mean, it means so much more listening to her story in Inuvagut than if she tried to say it in English. It wouldn't be as much as strong as she said. So I really like that. When I told her, I said, Lillian, I really want to learn the language. I want to know how to talk too. And she said, well, try then. We were in a hotel room and we were laying together. She was on her bed. I was on her bed. She said, go ahead, try. I said, okay. I said, Ara, ukwat, utukanad. Okayu mountain, dapkwad, nudakat. Ara, damna, nudakat, nudakarak. Damna, ra, achraling miktai, my pikaktok. Ara, damna, napaktok, pak, boo. And she couldn't stop laughing. I was telling her, you elders, talk to those kids. I said, he took off with his car really fast and he bumped a pole. I said, that's what I'm going to say on the radio. And we laughed so hard we couldn't stop laughing. But the desire was always there to know the language. Yeah, so the desire is always there to know the language. And when I first started going to language class, her and Sandra were teaching. And we always start with the Lord's Prayer and the sound chart. We always start like that. And I was thinking, oh, I can't even say ऊvagut ナᕕᒥ니ᖅᐳᑦ. I couldn't even say the first sentence of the Lord's Prayer. And I thought, but I want to learn. And they always told us, know the sound chart. Ba, bi, bu, ka, ke, ko, ka. And it was just repetitive every class. But I'm thankful for that because today I can say the words properly, like she wants to, because if I say it wrong, I mean, not with that, if it's supposed to be a Q and I try to say it with a K, totally meaning just vanishes. There's no more meaning to that word. So it's really important we get the... So there was a Ronald Lowe, or who was your instructor?
Ronald Lowe.
And he did where the sound comes from? From the throat?
Yeah, well, we had that, and he just told us that where, we have a paper, where all the sounds come from, back here, a little bit further over.
Yeah, tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
And that really helped you to know where the sound comes from, because then you could say it properly. Yeah, it's so important that we say it properly.
And then when you say a sentence, like if you said a sentence like, you could listen and if that person is talking and trying to translate, then you could tell there's nothing there, because the words that they use is not, it don't, how you say, when they go together.
Flow?
Flow, yeah. Flow together. If they don't, then that word that you're trying to say don't mean a thing. Don't mean anything.
So what we were doing, we thought, how are we going to teach? Like, how can we teach so that people will understand and want to learn, to be motivated to want to learn in Uvagut, because that's the most important thing, is if somebody's motivated, they want to do it. And so we wanted that for our people so that they can come and learn how. So we had a one word, say, Beaufort. And so we put the base word as Beaufort, which means walk. It just means walk, Beaufort. But if I put Beaufort, they are walking. So, and then we started to form language. I mean, sentences now from a base word. So that really helped us too in our learning. Yeah.
I don't know what's holding the young people not to be interested in coming to the classes. Maybe they're shy, maybe it's too hard for them to learn, not like Susan. Susan wasn't shy. That went over and above while my mother was still alive. She'll just say anything, any word, and my mother just listened to her and tell her, no, this way, Bunning. You say it this way, and it's better the way you say it. And she took it. She didn't. And I was going to tell you a story about myself. When I was a little girl, I was with straight boys. When I was growing up, I had no girl, no friends, only Frida, but she was way younger than I am. So I used to hang around with all those boys, Charlie, Joseph, William, Leonard, Nabu, and Fred, and all those boys. They were all boys. And I used to hang out with them all the time, and we used to climb trees. And I would have this kind of cover, nice cover my mom would make me. Every time, every day, big torn on my cover. And finally, she decided she's going to make me a cardigan, thick cover material for my
corduroy?
corduroy. Yeah. She made me a cover like that. I still could remember it. It was green.
It never ripped?
No, it still ripped because I had a pillar like this, you know, full like this. I was sloppy at climbing, I guess. I wasn't as smart as those boys. Yeah. And same with the boys who used to come over and visit too. Jimmy and Angus Cockney.
Where at ऊᕙᒍաթ or?
No.
No.
After we moved to that other place, when we moved away when our house burnt, we had to move to that last house that we had. Everybody helped to build that place. I think my dad just built it where all the trees were, and there was hardly any trees left around ऊᕙᒍաթ, so he found a place where there was lots of trees. He built that cabin, and Angus and Jimmy used to come over, and I think we were the first ones to make that slide like this. Big, that time used to be big snow banks.
Yeah.
We made a slide first. Every time I went to Edmonton Mall, what do they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, West Edmonton Mall, and that big slide.
Water slides?
Water slide?
Yeah.
I think to myself, we were the ones that taught them.
Yeah.
Because we used to make slides like that. We made from up there, we go out like this, go down, like this, go down. Like that, we make holes. We dig around. And we put water at the end and leave it overnight. You could slide from there.
Wow.
Because you had terrible skin muklak, so you slide down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have to make our own toys.
You talked Inuit, all of you? All of you talked Inuit at that time? No English?
No English. That's why Angus and Jimmy were really fluent.
Oh.
Yeah, they were fluent like me, Leonard, and the older son.
Yeah, Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fluent in our language.
I never lost it, never.
Never. I wouldn't. The reason for that is because my grandmother, the first year I went to school, to a residential school, she never told me anything. Never said, they're going to teach you or anything. She just left me. But the second year that I was going to go back, she said, they're going to teach you a lot of things. And you're going to get really smart. And you're going
Can you say it in Inuit? What she said, I want to hear it.
Which one?
What she told you before you went to school.
Okay.
And then you could say it in English.
Okay, I'm going to do the whole thing then.
Okay.
Okay. Hibulik pemi ilihara kakama. Kano payangit ka nga. O kao ti payangit ka nga na. Biakiri nubayak para na yakto din hama. Asahama iliyak para ka din. Ukiyot king romang. Awlakiligan niya ma. Ukiyakrami. Awlakiligan niya ma piyanga. Tusirit ko talong. Tabra ilak para kanya ko din. Ilihimak para ka rin hama tabrang nga aniwit. Ilihawing min agalalak iritin. Kihitsila iritin. Tiga nga tabra. Nalugalo ako na.
Wow.
Biga nga agalan tabra o kauchin biyo kong itkiya.
Yeah.
Inyuman iling yun. Inuit Inualoakotin. Inuit karatin taptema Inuvelu peakotin Inuvelurutin.
Wow.
Tapteminga укаутсеқ пиугорнагу пиуққаарнагу. She said, don't you ever forget it, like, that nahne.
Because that's your life? Because that's your life?
That's my life.
Inside of you, that's...
Inside of me.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to keep me going. Biganga. Tabrago kinyurako tam na piyong ihawap ko. Naluro ko pa. Pang mapag ahin ukiut kafe natani kapke tabra hunawa o kaharama tabra inyu kakiganga akiliw hektil kiganga o kautsirma.
Wow.
Nalublun tayo mga kanga. Mikirura ngo ba?
Yeah.
9 to 12 kiyo kakona.
Yeah.
Nalublun eh. Ako na utok kanago ko mali. Utok kaliguma. Ato akra ilihimakirugok. Ilichokirugok. Kanok ato ko nektilakra migtaptaminga.
You're gonna know how much it means to you, or
no?
When you
I'm gonna realize how important that was
to keep your language.
Yeah, to keep my language and for being who I am. And I went across a lot of language gatherings.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful, though. She didn't know that I was going to be, when I was probably 9, 10 years old, when I was going to go back to school. I'm just a little girl. When I was going to go back to school, she said, don't forget your language. It's you. It's who you are for the rest of your life. That's going to keep you going. But little did she know that I'm going to lose my husband. I'm going to be by myself, and that's going to keep me going. And that's the only thing that I have to keep me going.
Yeah.
Other than that, I know what to do, and do dishes and do housekeeping. That's what when I first started, that's what I did. I was a housekeeper. $4.50 a day. $4.50 a day.
That how much I made, I worked for her. I don't even know how much I made.
I first started doing dishes in what they call
camp, some kind of camp.
What they called it.
I can't.
No,
some kind of camp
don't
down
know
here. Right here, exactly. Yeah.
DPW.
Yeah.
DPW.
Yeah.
That's where I did my dishes. I started off with dishes. But little did I know that my language is going to keep me going. She didn't know that I'm going to lose my husband very young, my grandmother. So and then when I was teaching too at the high school, I used to want to quit. Too many teenagers, too dangerous.
Well, 30-something in a class, right?
36.
36 in the class every day.
Every day.
No assistant.
No helper. Nothing.
Just by herself, with no material too.
No
she
material.
Had no material to work with.
I had to make my own material.
And this was junior high.
Yeah. But I did it by the time I finished. I had a cart in my room. You must have seen.
Yeah.
Long cart way over, just filled with all my material. But I had help. Liz Crawford was my helper. I mean, her and I, we did things together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we even brought them over one time to Big Lake, go have some tea and bannock.
Yeah.
With skidoos that time, BTEC gave us skidoos, and we went over there and we were
How fun. How many students?
Huh?
How many students?
15.
Oh,
Some of them had to walk.
Imagine that today.
I know,
Yeah.
exactly, really. No,
Yeah.
it wouldn't happen today. For
Well, we
sure.
had 2 skidoos, that's all. But it was good. Toboggan, but they jump off. They don't want to ride in toboggan.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes,
The beginnings of your starting to work with the language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my beginning
Yeah.
stuff that I started off with.
Yeah. And you could say 60 years today
Mm-hmm.
that you've been working with the language.
Mm-hmm.
That's, yeah.
Yeah. 60 years.
You have very much lived experience.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
A lot of.
You should take it out of your brain and
Yeah. Save it.
yeah,
Save
put
it for
down
the
and
younger people.
put it in USB. So
Yeah.
and you
where
need
I
to do
could-
that.
Nowadays it's called the cloud.
Yeah.
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 But you see, it's you two.
Uh-huh.
You're going to be there, like, it's only once that I could get to really teach and put it down, stamp it to make sure that they learn, her and my sister Valerie. Because they're my sisters, they're younger than me, and not too much younger, but still.
Way!
But you know what? I never did teach my children. My 4 children, 3 boys and 1 girl. I never taught them in Uvagut.
Yeah.
My husband was нальмьют from Tak, and I'm from ууᕙᒍաթ. And I'm not going to change my dialect for nobody, because that's where my grandparents, they spoke this dialect. I wasn't going to change it with any other dialect. And my husband would say I was wrong if I said one word in ууᕙᒍաթ.
Yeah.
He'd say, that's not the right way to
An argument starts.
argument start. So I thought, no arguing. Not in front of my kids. I don't want them kids to see me arguing every day. So we said, okay, let's leave it in English. Because he went to residential school,
Yeah.
12 years, huh? Yeah. So that's what happened to my children. But they could, when
They
I was...
understand, probably. Yeah, they do.
They do. They probably do, because that's all I do is just been with the language for so long. If I needed, like when I first started translating, I used to write everything down. 40 pages sometimes I write.
Wow.
And I had to look for somebody to,
Put it on the.
on computer, huh?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So my grandchildren used to help me with that. Paul was really good. Sometimes he would see a word, it was wrong. He said, Nana, is this the right word, all right? I look at it and it had 1 K or 2 Ks on it, and that was not right.
So he knew.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dolly made you
Yeah, Ptolemy was the one that
She
always.
That's how I think
Yeah.
that's how she picked it up,
Yes.
learning the language.
Uh-huh.
They will, though. I believe they will. We're going to continue
Yes.
with our enthusiasm
Yes.
and our love for the language, and they will pick it up too. I know that.
Even though that we don't hardly have any students, it's just to keep it going, like you were saying. You could tell them about what we keep teaching for us.
Yeah,
We
to
wanted
get it across to people,
Yeah.
to learn the language is so important and to understand because, like I said before, it's so meaningful when you talk in Inuit rather
Yeah.
than English. English has nothing. One time I heard Roy Pana say the Inuit were drum dancing. And he said, Michael Jackson has nothing on Inuit. He said that, and that's how I feel about talking in Inuit and then English. English has, honestly, I used to have so high regard for English, but now it's Inuit because Inuit is so precise.
Yes.
There's every kind of word that you could use for snow, this snow, that snow, white snow, like all that. It's very precise, and that's why I love it too. I like how they could express themselves. I was just
Yes.
listening to my mom telling a
Yeah.
story about, she said she really wanted a new party cover for the Christmas time that they're going to go to a Clavik to celebrate. And she really wanted a party cover. And this lady, Mitchak, she made her a party cover and she was so happy. Like I could hear the expression in her voice and the way she said it. Like even trying to explain it in English, I can't because it just loses meaning. Yeah, so it's
But if
so.
you say it in Inuit, it means so much.
It means so much more.
Yes.
And that's how we developed our language, the love of our language for each other. Like all of us, 3 of us anyways, we always try to, even with Leonard, he said, I could understand you now. Before that, he couldn't understand me, what I'm trying to say. He said, I could understand you. That was so exciting for him to know that he could understand me before he couldn't. Yeah.
And out on the land, my mother used to tell us stories. I don't know where she get all her stories from. Must be from her parents too.
Yeah.
She was adopted to Frank,
Yeah.
Kukik, and Укăльак.
Yeah.
She was adopted. Those days, they used to give their children out to people. If you couldn't have any children, their sisters or brothers would give you a child. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were in the same
Yeah.
area, you know, they didn't go far or you
So
seen
she
them
was
probably.
adopted. Also, my dad was adopted.
Yeah.
That's a heart story, but I'll tell it when I tell stories when I make my book.
Yeah, better be soon.
Yeah. Pretty soon I'll make it.
Yeah.
But he was adopted, and he was 12, 13 years old. Gave him back to his parents. Yeah. She gave him back. She didn't try to hold him. His stepmother.
And Mom too? Mom, укăльак,
Yeah.
укăльак and
They
Kukik
give-
was
yeah.
their names? Yeah.
They give her back.
Yeah.
Give her back when she was older.
Yeah, she was older.
Mm-hmm.
She said, and she used to tell stories? She used to tell you stories?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of when
Of Cinderella. Yeah, real Cinderella. The way it's done when I read it in English, same thing, but Cinderella had mice having art for their dog team. I mean, for the
Yeah, dog
That-
team, yeah. For the,
for that.
chariot or whatever.
Yeah, for to carry them, bring them to that big dance. And Ilya, she used to make me cry because she used to talk about Ilya Patluk.
Oh, she was so pitiful.
Yeah, she was so.
Oh.
Her big sisters would just be so mean to her. She would have to sweep the floor all day and do clean up and everything. And her big sisters were so mean to her, call her funny names and be
All in
funny to her.
Inuit.
Yes, all in Inuit. All in Inuit. She used to go and see a friend too, out in he had a cabin. This man had a cabin, and he used to talk to her so she don't feel so bad about what her stepmother and her two sisters do to her.
Oh.
He was a counselor. That's the way it was.
Wow.
Gee, that's nice that old man would just give her berries and something to walk with, like bannock and berries or something.
And this is
When
at
you have
night time?
Yeah.
When you're going to bed?
Yeah, when we were going to bed. She used to tell us those stories. Really funny ones. Sometimes she'd tell us funny stories. We laugh and have fun. Yeah. And those days were, the mattress I had was a caribou skin. My mattress, all of us had caribou skin mattress. We didn't have a big thick mattress like we have today.
Yeah.
Full of hair, I guess we were. But when we were small, when me and Leonard were growing up, it was so special because my grandmother, ナᕕምኒᖅᐳᑦ, Susan's named after her. She would sew for us. She made sure that we had nice clothes. I still could remember all those fancy clothes that she made. All with caribou. In the fall time caribou, they don't shed so much. In the fall time when they get them. Beautiful mucklucks, everything. Never get cold. Yeah, she used to dress us up like that. How much she loved her son.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the only son she had.
Yes.
Those were the fun days we used to go to. We used to go whaling camp too. When we would go down to whaling camp, there was everybody in the Delta would go down. And my grandfather had a scow. And but I know that's where I got my so caring for elders is because the way they work, the way I saw them working. We had a scow, remember? No.
No, not me.
Okay, must be from here to the door. Good, enough to put a tent. We used to have a tent in that scow. But let alone do we have a tent, we had maybe 6 more families he would take them to Kendall Island.
Whaling time.
Whaling time. Because they didn't have boats, nothing. So he would make sure they picked them up from their camps. Picked them up with their dogs and all. It used to be so many dogs. They had their boat was Uvagut, they call it Uvagut. That on the side, they would build us with trees, make all the way, both sides of the boat. Dogs would be on each side. So many dogs. Well, these guys, those people that are coming with us have dogs too, maybe 5, 6 dogs.
And they can't leave them too either.
No, they can't.
That's their transportation.
Yeah. And my grandfather, 2 of my aunties lost their husbands. They lost their husbands. He took them in to his house. And the house wasn't that, I think I thought it was big when I was smaller, but I think the last time I saw it wasn't all that big.
Yeah.
So there was my auntie with 6 kids. He adopted William. William was there. My other auntie had 3, but one stayed with Alan Ockbick, Emma Dick. But there was Colin and Victor and Garrett. She adopted Garrett too.
Okay.
So that all of them stayed in that house, and that's where we ate every day, all together. We have Northern games too. I used to play Northern games because I'm the only girl.
Yeah.
The boys have Northern games, so I have to join them too. I want to play Northern games. Try to cook. Yeah.
Always competing, huh? Really competitive.
All the
Running,
time.
walking, getting
Yeah.
fish, getting chopping wood. Who did the
Yes, we had
most?
fishnets in the winter time. I was that time before I went to school. I had a little sled and I had a dog. After minaᖅ� had a dog named ууᕙᒍաթ. They let me have a dog, ууᕙᒍաթ. So I have a little dog and little sled and go with them to the fishnet.
How nice.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Long ago, did you name the dogs like now?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. You named your dogs yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever kind of names you want to call them. See, I can't remember Dad's dog, so
I just know Aksik. There was Aksik,
that black dog.
Blackie. Right?
Blackie, yeah?
Yeah,
I think
so.
Blackie and
Yeah.
Major.
Major.
Major
yeah.
is the leader, yeah.
Spike was maybe later on.
And my grandparents on my mother's side, their dogs were big. Big dogs like this.
Wow.
All big dogs they had. And my grandfather, on my father's side, his little dogs were like this. Little woolly dogs.
Wow.
I don't know how come they were like that.
But
the dogs were good.
Yeah.
We used to go, he used to lend them to us, me and Nabu. We go set traps. We're going to make lots of money before Christmas. So we go set traps, and we've been hitting a portage. We thought we were going to go by a portage. It's getting dark. Hey, getting dark already. We'll just leave them like that. We'll just leave the dogs like that, tangled all up in a portage. We started walking. And Nabu said, Lillian, I think these are wolf tracks. We're holding hands, huh? Holding hands because we're lost now. We're holding hands. And okay, then let's sing Jesus Loved Me, and we're going to, so Jesus could look after us. So we're holding hands. I wish there was camera and pictures of
Yeah.
Jesus loved me. Until we hit deep snow. Next thing, we saw 2 big black things way over. For sure, 2 wolves. And I told Nabu, I said, Nabu, look, those black things are coming towards us. That was my brother Joseph.
You're right behind the house?
We're just right behind the anatka house. Behind. There was a lake here, another little lake here, and Alatkashik right there, right behind. We thought we went long. Oh. You
ready?
3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah?
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah?
You ended. How nice. Thank you very much.
Thank
It
you
was
so
such a
much.
Good story time.
Yes.
Yes. I'll
Yes.
just borrow this.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for telling
Yes.
stories. I love listening to your Nanak. How you say it? You called her Nanak, or what you called her?
Who?
Your grandma.
Nanak.
You called her Nanak?
Nanak,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It was like you got to hear how she really sounded telling her way back then. Yeah. So thank you so much for being on our show again. I really appreciate it.
You too. Thank you
It
for
was
bringing
good.
us here.
Yeah, good to sit and listen. That's
Yes.
like I have the best job where I could just sit and listen to talk to people. But thank you for being on the show, and Kuya Naini, and Kuya Naini for everyone for joining and watching the show with Lillian and Susan. See you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Ilan ninyo.
Ilan ninyo.
Yes.